Hello, you're listening to the Ayumu Kagami scrapbooking hour.
Welcome as I scrapbook about war stories.
You're listening to War Stories, a military history podcast where each week I tell my friend.
Ayumu Kagami. What he should put in his scrapbook.
So, the war is World War II because that's where all the good ones come from, basically. The guy is named Jack Churchill. Jack was born in... Oh, this is the longer one, by the way, I should know. So this is episode 2, technically.
No, it's episode 3.
Okay, fine. The other one was a war anecdote. This one's longer. Hopefully not too much longer, but this one's longer. All right, so there's quite a bit of stuff that happens in his childhood, and this is after I edit it, so we're going to go pretty quick here. He was born on 16 September 1906 in Sri Lanka, which is an island south of India, which was still a British territory. Then, shortly after his birth, they moved back to Surrey, and then in 1910, when Jack is between 3 and 4 years of age, they moved to Hong Kong. It's notable that both of Jack's siblings went on to serve in the war as well, all attaining fairly high ranks. The family returned to 1917. I put that in, or that part in that part, because that's how it was in Wikipedia, and I'm really lazy. Jack graduated from the Royal Military College in 1926 and served in Burma. I don't know where that is. I forgot to look it up. Where he enjoyed riding motorbikes. Jack left the army in 1936 and worked as a newspaper editor in Kenya and as a male model. Somewhere along the way, he'd acquired talent at playing the bagpipes and also archery, which he used to play a small role in a 1924 film titled The Thief of Baghdad. In 1938, he appeared in another movie, took second place in a military piping competition, and represented Great Britain at the World Archery Championships. All in 1938. That's a busy year for old Jack.
Wow.
What's up?
Also, Burma's near China.
Okay, cool.
He did a lot. He did more than most people do in their lives.
Yeah, this is... When was he born? 1906. So by 1938, he's 30? 32. So yeah, he's done quite a bit. However, this rock star life was not to last forever, and on September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, kicking off the Second Great War. In response, Jack resumed his commission and was assigned to the Manchester Regiment, the good old boys he'd kicked around in Burma with, and was sent to France. In May of 1940, Churchill and some of his men ambushed a German patrol. Churchill gave the order to attack by raising his claymore. By the way, he's got a claymore.
Dude, who doesn't want a claymore in World War II?
Literally everyone should be carrying a sword in World War II. Jack started the ambush by killing one of the Germans with his longbow. By the way, he's also got a longbow.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You got your sword on your hip and your longbow on your back in World War II. Or
Yes.
was he actually just carrying his favorite manga, Claymore?
He kills people with it, so I hope not.
You could kill someone with a book.
You'd have to try really hard. Then again, he is Scottish.
Yeah.
I was not able to ascertain if he was wearing a kilt for this, but I really hope he was.
And then he pulls out his real sword.
Imagine being like a German in World War II and getting killed by a fucking bow and arrow.
Imagine being a German in World War II and not realizing your entire spy network is made up.
Yeah. There are no German spies in Britain. Whew, okay. So the ambush went well. After fighting at Dunkirk, yes, that Dunkirk, he volunteered for the Commandos, in which his younger brother also served. But they didn't serve together, because that's not allowed. December 27th, 1941, Jack found himself second in command of his unit in a raid on a German-occupied settlement in Norway. I didn't include the name, because I didn't even want to try. The moment where the ramps were down, he, quote, leapt forward from his position, playing March of the Cameron Men on his bagpipes before throwing a grenade and charging into battle.
March of the Cameron Men?
Yep. Cameroon? Cameroon? It's a place in Scotland.
So, just like the Titanic movie where he was Jack!
I don't think that was the same guy.
No, it was.
Okay.
This guy's Leonardo DiCaprio.
I mean, he's old enough to have survived, but I think... When did that happen? Before World War II, right?
The Titanic?
Yeah.
1919 or something?
Yeah, okay. So for that in Dunkirk, he received a Military Cross and Bar, which I don't know what the bar is, but I think it's just like a second level of honor.
1912.
Jack led some more raids in charge this time, and always with his sword, bow, and bagpipes. Because he is a true Scotsman.
Here's a question. Do you carry a gun?
I believe so, because it was specifically stated he carried his sword at his side, his bow and arrow around his neck, and his pipes. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Does he need guns, though? He's Jack.
Good point. Good point.
By the way, Jack is quoted as saying, sorry, I didn't write down the exact quote, which I'm really mad about, but he said, any officer is naked without his sword.
It's true. I mean, what are you going into battle for if you don't have a sword?
If you need to be told which end of the sword goes where. Jack led some more raids, so... While doing this, he was ordered to capture a German observation port near the town of Molina, and I completely forgot to check which country this belongs to, which controlled a pass strategically important to the area. Did you find it? You looking?
Yes.
I can hear you in there. I think it's Italy. It is Italy, because I wrote down Italy before and then just didn't read that line.
Found her.
Oh, yeah? Oh, dear.
Continue your story.
So, the German observation post near the city controlled a pass strategically important to the area. With the help of a corporal, and I don't know if that means that just Jack and one guy did this, but he infiltrated the town and captured the post, taking 42 prisoners and a mortar squad. He then marched them right back down the pass, carrying the wounded in carts, and equated the scene to the Napoleonic Wars. He received a Distinguished Service Order for that, because he took an entire outpost with himself and one other guy, I think.
Well, shit.
He later walked back into town to retrieve his sword.
Why'd he leave his sword behind?
He had lost it in hand-to-hand combat with the Germans.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
He encountered a lost American patrol who were mistakenly headed for enemy lines. When the NCO refused to turn around, Jack informed them that he was going his own way and that he would not be coming back for a bloody third time. What?
He's just sitting there. I'm not going to follow orders. I was here twice. I'm not coming back.
I'm not coming back. Well, those were Americans, so they were just, allies, but not in his command structure. In 1944, he led some commandos in Yugoslavia, which is a country that doesn't exist anymore, supporting some partisans from a nearby island, and partisans, I believe, are like militia. He was ordered in May to raid the German island of Broch. He organized a motley crew of 1,500 partisans, his own unit, the 43rd Commando, and one troop from 40th Commando for whatever reason. They landed unopposed, but received fire from the German emplacements higher up. This made the partisans decide to be done for the day, but Jack was having none of that. He blew his bagpipes and charged the rest of the commandos into battle until they were strafed by an RAF Spitfire, in which he decided to take the day off as well.
I'm not giving up yet.
They've got a plane.
I'm giving up now.
But see, here's the confusing thing about that, right? An RAF Spitfire is a British plane. So is it accidentally firing on them, or did it strafe the Germans and Jack was like, that's enough for one day?
Did you know the Spitfire looks like the Zero?
Yeah, planes look very similar back then.
It's got like the red circle on it like a zero.
It's the symbol of the RAF. Or it was.
Japan?
Yeah. Well, it's an empty circle. Japan is a full circle.
This is a red circle.
Well, you know. Next morning, they relaunched the attack. Only Churchill and 6 others reached the objective, and then everyone but Churchill was killed by mortar fire. Churchill then played his bagpipes with the incoming Germans until he was knocked unconscious by grenades and captured.
Isn't there actually something about warfare where you're not allowed to do psychological damage to people on the battlefield?
It's called the Geneva Convention, and no, that hadn't happened yet. Oh, wait, no, yes, it had, sorry, but, you know, still.
He's like, they can't hit me if I annoy the shit out of them.
Exactly. He was flown to Berlin for interrogation and then sent to Sachsenhausen in concentration camp. Jack checked out of the camp in September, having enjoyed a nice summer vacation by crawling under the wire and through an abandoned drain with an RAF officer named Bertram James. They made for the Baltic coast and were recaptured only a few kilometers from the sea. So he was there from May to September, so summer vacation.
He had summer vacation in a concentration camp.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if that's how it goes.
Well, it is for Jack.
No, it wasn't, because he didn't have his bagpipes and he didn't have his sword.
You don't know that.
It's a concentration camp. You gotta focus there.
In April 1945, Jack and about 140 other prominent prisoners were transferred to Tyrol, which is held by the SS, which regular German troops apparently didn't like too much. As when a delegation of prisoners told German officials they feared they would be executed, a German army unit moved in on the SS, forcing them to retreat and leaving the prisoners. Which they set free because the war was already over. Jack then walked 93 miles to Italy, where he met up with an American armored unit. Since the war was still on in the Pacific, he headed out to Burma, which is near China. We talked about that last time, actually.
Knowledge.
But he only made it to India before the bombs dropped and the Japanese surrendered. Churchill was said to be unhappy with this, saying, "If it wasn't for those damn Yanks, we could have kept the war going another 10 years.
Yeah, thank God. Sure would have been bad if, the war ended.
What do you mean?
I mean, he just wants people dead. Everyone.
He wants to kill them with his sword and his bow and arrow.
He wants to bagpipe them to death.
And then my favorite part is knocked unconscious by grenades because of all the injuries you can get from a fucking grenade.
He's the only one who survived mortars.
They couldn't hit him because of his umbrella.
You're right. He had mortars protecting him.
An umbrella sword. After the war, Jack qualified as a parachuter and ended up being roped into one last conflict in 1948. He'd been posted to Palestine just before it stopped being a British territory and attempted to assist a civilian medical convoy that came under fire from Arab forces. So this is during some really bad conflicts between Palestine and Israel.
So all of them?
Yeah, pretty much. Churchill arrived first on the scene with 12 of his men, banging on the side of the bus and offering to evacuate members of the bus and an APC in direct contradiction to British orders to stay out of it. His offer was refused because they believed that Jewish forces would come to their rescue. When that didn't happen, Churchill and his 12 guys provided cover fire. 2 of the convoy trucks caught on fire, and 77 out of the 79 people inside were killed.
But here's the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Jewish soldiers ever show up?
Nope.
But
they did not.
But what about our champion, the Zohan?
I'm sorry?
You don't mess with the Zohan.
Oh. Okay. So only 2 people survived out of that convoy. The event is known today as the Hadassah Medical Convoy Massacre. After that, he helped out with some evacuations in the area, distinguishing himself enough to get a street named after him. Then he went home. While still working for the army with a desk job, he appeared in another movie and took up surfing. He retired in 1959 with 2 distinguished service orders. I think that's what that is called. I mentioned it earlier. Distinguished Service Order. Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. He had 2 of those. He continued to be Jack by startling train conductors and passengers by throwing his briefcase out of a train window each day on the ride home.
How many briefcases does he have?
He later explained he was tossing it into his own back garden so that he wouldn't have to carry it from the station.
All right.
He died on March 8th, 1996, at the age of 89. I think this was shorter than I thought it was.
It was a lot shorter.
Okay.
Was it a bagpipe incident?
I like to believe so. I'd like to believe that a bunch of Germans charged up the shores of his home, and he played his bagpipe and held them off for 3 hours before suffering a heart attack.
No, for 3 weeks. Before suffering dementia, realizing that it was actually groundhogs.
Okay, how long was that actually?
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching!
No, wait. How long was that?
It was 17 minutes.
Okay, I have another really short one then.
No, that has to be its own episode.
No, this guy wears a kilt and he's gonna be 5 minutes.
Go on.
Alright, his name is Bill Millen. He was born in Canada, in some, I don't know how to pronounce Canadian provinces. His father was Scottish, and they returned to Scotland when Bill was 3. Bill grew up and went to school in Scotland and then joined the reserve. It's called the Territorial Army, but it's the UK Reserve. And played in the pipe bands of some Scottish armies, before volunteering as a commando and training with the 15th Lord Lovat, which is a title, I think, because his name is Simon Fraser. They would be together for most of the war. But this is what Bill is known for. On the 6th of June, 1944, better known as D-Day, Millen and Lovat were in the landing on Sword Beach. Millen, being a true Scotsman and piper, had his pipes, and also was wearing a kilt.
Fantastic.
In accordance with Scottish tradition, he had no underwear.
What if he got bit by a fish as they went up from the water?
Ooh, I think that was the least of your worries, charging D-Day.
I don't know. He's pretty bad.
I'd be a little bit more concerned about the incoming machine gun fire.
Yeah, well, it's illegal to shoot someone in the dick.
That's right, actually. I forgot about that.
So the fish would not... The fish don't work with the Geneva Convention.
So pipers have traditionally been used in battle by both Scottish and Irish forces, but the British Army had restricted their use to rear areas by the time of the Second World War. Lovat ignored this and ordered Millen to play. When Millen refused, citing the regulations, Lord Lovat replied, but that's the English War Office. You and I are both Scottish, and that doesn't apply.
I don't want to do it. It says we don't have to. You're doing it anyway.
That's the English War Office. Are you an Englishman? No, you're a Scotsman. Look at your kilt. So he played the pipes while storming the beaches of Normandy. Millen states that he later talked to captured German snipers who claimed they did not shoot at him because they thought he had gone insane.
All right, let's get this. I got this guy. The fuck is he doing?
He's playing the pipes and wearing a kilt. I think we should leave this one alone.
Oh God, there's a big breeze. What is he doing?
He's not wearing any underwear. Don't shoot him.
No. I am not going out there and saying I shot the guy whose dick was in the air.
I am not killing the man. I'm not killing the poor insane guy. So a little bit more about this. He was the only man during the wet landing who wore a kilt. It was the same kilt his father had worn in World War One.
Ew.
And he did not carry a gun. He only carried his pipes and the... I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, but it's a Scottish... It's called a black knife. And it's got a Scottish name. And it's inside the kilt hose on the right side. It's like a... You know those knee socks? Every picture I looked up of it was just like a dagger and knee socks.
Okay.
So you can just pull it out and shank them after they take a look up your skirt. He later told interviewers the cold water took his bridge away. Bridge. I just said bridge.
Is that his penis?
No. The cold water took his breath away. So, like, you know when you get in the pool...
breath away!
Yeah. You know when you get in the pool and it's a little colder than you were expecting? That's exactly what this is, except with more machine guns.
So he became a soprano?
Temporarily, yes. They advanced up from Sword Beach, which was their landing zone, to Pegasus Bridge. They arrived 1 hour late and marched across the bridge to the sound of Millen's bagpipes. During their march, 12 men died, most shot through the beret. Later, bridge crossers moved in small groups and wore helmets. So, you know.
Understandably so.
Because, yeah. It's the small details like that are my favorite parts of these stories. Millen saw further action in the Netherlands and Germany before being demobilized in 1946 and going to work for Lord Lovat's estate. In the 1950s, he became a registered psychiatric nurse in Scotland, where he retired in the late 60s. He suffered a stroke in 2003. In 2009, he was awarded a Legion d'Honneur for gallantry in June. He died in hospital on August 17th, 2010 at the age of 88. So that was your bonus, Bill Millen. He was too small to be his own thing, so I just tacked him on the end there since we had time.
Thank you very much for watching! Hopefully you've enjoyed this shit show.
You look like a scrapbooking hour.
Thank you very much, though, everyone. We sincerely appreciate it. Leave comments down below of what kind of stories you would like to hear, and he'll do the work, and I'll scrapbook.
That's exactly how this works.
But, I mean, so very much. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this. If you didn't enjoy this, hit the like button 3 times. That'll show me. And subscribe to be notified of whenever the hell anything else comes out. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful night.